The Broncos' unlikely season and run to the playoffs comes to an end today at Highmark Stadium in Buffalo as they fall 31-7 to the Buffalo Bills. The Broncos got off to a hot start this afternoon in Buffalo as Bo Nix found Troy Franklin down the field for an opening touchdown, but the Broncos would not score again and unfortunately struggled to move the ball at times in the second half. I think this game ended up finishing 31-7, but it was a lot closer than it seemed. Late in the third quarter, the game was still 13-7 after the Broncos found a way to hold the Bills to a field goal on their opening drive of the third quarter. Unfortunately, on a deciding 4th and 1 play, Josh Allen scrambled around, found his receiver in the back of the end zone for a lead that would go to 21-7 after the 2-point conversion. The play was a little bit questionable, perhaps. They went and was reviewed. The officials eventually ruled that the Buffalo Bills receiver had control of the football. It did look like perhaps it moved as his foot was near the white line, but alas, it was called a Buffalo touchdown. That gave Buffalo a 2-score lead, and from there, the Broncos unfortunately were unable to punch back. Defensively, they gave up a lot of yards in the run game. James Cook went over 100 yards. The Bills had 128 rushing yards at halftime. And the Broncos then, in the second half, saw Josh Allen do Josh Allen-type things, take control of the game, including that pass to Ty Johnson there on that 4th down. Again, ultimately ends up 31-7, but things were a bit closer than that for most of the game, and you can look back to a couple of opportunities, whether it was a couple of drop passes. Broncos had a 50-yard field goal attempt at the end of the first half to tie the game at 10 and send it to the locker room, all tied up. It hit the right upright and doinked off. Unfortunately, the Broncos headed to the locker room with a deficit. And so I think as we hear from coaches, players, I'm sure they'll talk about missed opportunities in this game. But ultimately, as you look big picture about this season, this was a success in any way that you mentioned it. The Broncos find a way to get to 10 wins and make their first postseason appearance since 2015, and that's with a rookie quarterback with a really young core. The future is bright here in Denver, but today the Broncos fall 31-7 to the Buffalo Bills. From Highmark Stadium, I'm Aric DiLalla.